Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Reggie from WaveTech FX with your weekly outlook. Currently the time is 12:51 a.m. Sunday, April 29th, Hawaii Standard Time. And in this video, I'd like to talk about a couple of pairs that I'm gonna be looking at as far as what's exhausted. And this is from the 29th through the 5th. Yes. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Just wanted to give you guys the current time just for confirmation. Jumping into our charts here, let me open it up to full screen. Here it is. Alright, and for those of you who are new to WaveTech FX, who are watching our videos for the first time, I do a weekly outlook and I give a couple of pairs that's exhausted and that's ready to turn. So when these exhaustion points occur, we're looking at a couple of things. We're looking at for a turnaround point in the market, which most of the time results in a retracement or a bigger retracement from a current move. I give you guys a few pairs of my analysis and pairs that I personally will be looking at to trade. Again, past profits does not guarantee future profits. This is just for educational purposes only. And let's get started with AUD USD. So now the dollar has had a relatively strong move as far as pairs like AUD USD, GBP USD. It's just basically from the news that had occurred last week and the week before that. So you can see for this first pair, you got a strong move to the downside, right? Which resulted us in an exhaustion point down here. Now the reason why I'm looking at this pair is because I like the fact that it has crossed our SMA and on a 4-hour chart. So we can jump up to a 30-minute chart. You can also see that the SMA has crossed the BMA. And I can't emphasize how much magic goes on in a cross like that. So whenever you see the SMA cross our BMA, guys, so SMA, small moving average, BMA is the bigger moving average. Whenever you see a cross like that, I can explain how much more magic that cross is and how much of a confirmation that is to enter the trade. So on a 30-minute chart, we drop down to a 30-minute chart, we see this move. I like to look for a couple of things. I like to wait for a retest back down to this SMA or BMA area, right? And then I'll enter the trade back up again. So I would wait for our pink exhaustion indicator to get down in the green buy zone in the extreme before we look to buy. Alright, so that's AUD USD. And the next one we're going to look at is the Euro Swiss on a 4-hour chart. Alright, we have exhaustion up here. What I'm looking for is more confirmation. This is from my conservative kind of entry. And what I do is I drop down to the 30-minute chart and I'd watch for when price or the SMA and BMA cross. So we're going to be paying attention to Euro Swiss franc as it gets an exhaustion point up in this area here. I understand that this is not ready yet, but this is a nice setup to have to be looking at. So again, I like to see price come back down here, and then hopefully maybe this week or next week we see a big push down crossing the BMA, which is also another strong entry to sell the market here. Alright, so let's go on to our next pair, which is going to be GBP USD. Oh, I apologize. This is some of my analysis from last week, from the 13th. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks ago, April 13th. You can see I like to leave these charts up here to come back and refer to, but as you can see, price hit the heavy resistance area here and continued all the way down, especially with that US dollar strength. It really pushed price all the way down for GBP USD. It is exhausted on the 4-hour chart, right? What I like to see is I like to see price come back down more in this 4-hour support area, and we'd like to look for price to be doing this kind of price action, right? When it comes down to the support area, we had a shot up in the market, right? I'm looking for that same kind of price action, and I'm not going to be entering to look this. I'm not going to be looking to enter this buy until I see price action cross above the SMA or when the SMA crosses the BMA. Alright, So be paying attention for that. And during that cross, we need to have exhaustion on the 30-minute as well. So that's GBP USD. So we'll change our time frame back to the 4-hour and onto the next pair. Now Euro Yen. I'd like to jump in on this trade for a sell, alright, because we had exhaustion up here, right? It made another higher high, and we also created this flag that you see here right now because of this big move down and then a flag at that point, right? And you can see that it's exhausted up here. On a 4-hour chart, this is a strong trade because the SMA has crossed the BMA. Now we're looking for a retest. So if you drop down to a 30-minute chart, we can look for, you can see that it broke our trend line, right? How I like to do is I like to look for price reach a certain level, so we can bust out our Fibonacci 2 here, and we can see that it's hitting or about to hit a 382 level. So when you see that kind of price action, you can go ahead and enter accordingly, whether if it's an aggressive, moderate, or a conservative entry. And that's Euro Yen. This is some of the reasons why I'm going to be looking to short this pair, because of this flag that it's formed, a break of a trend line, and I'm just going to be waiting for a more conservative entry and waiting for price come up and find and see if it respects this level here as resistance. So we can look at this whole level here, this entire level. We can kind of watch and see if it respects this area. So that was Euro Yen, and I believe that was the pairs for this week. So again, we're going to be looking at AUD USD, Euro Swiss franc, GBP USD, and Euro JPY. Alright guys, we hope you folks had a awesome week last week, and we will continue to monitor these trades. Oh, I'm sorry, I think I had another one here too. Let me just check. Oh, of course, Euro USD. I don't think I covered that one. Alright, let's jump into that one real quick. Okay, open up my screen here. Now, what you can see here on the, sorry, let me get rid of all this. From a 4-hour chart, you can see we have exhaustion down here on our extreme on our exhaustion indicator, right? And we like to drop down to a 30-minute chart, and we can see that we almost have an SMA cross here as well. So like the other pairs for the dollar pairs, dollar index pairs, we can wait for price to come back down and test and see if it respects this area as a support, and then come back up and continue to go back up there in that way. Again, seeing if it's going to respect this area here as support. Alright, we can watch our pink indicator here, our line, to come down in the green buy area, which is an extreme indicator to enter the buy. Again, this is just according to the big push that the dollar had for all our pairs, the Euro USD, AUD USD, and the Pound USD. Right, so I believe that wraps it all up. AUD USD, Euro Swiss, GU, EJ, and Euro USD. Alright guys, if you have any other questions or concerns, we're gonna meet you folks out on Monday for our Q&A, or sorry, tomorrow for our Q&A. So alright folks, take care, stay blessed. See you folks on the charts.